Montek, I want to take you to 2 points of reflection. If you were to meet a 28-year-old Montek as you were walking down the street, what advice would you give this young Montek in terms of the shifts in demographics, climate change, and technology that are happening? And what advice would you give this younger Montek on what to think about and what to do to be successful in his career?
That's a huge responsibility. But when I look back on when I was 28, I really never felt the need to get advice. One of the good things about people who are 28 is that they feel by then they've either had a good enough education to know that there are multiple sources and you need to be sure of what these sources are. But the most important advice I would give is that, look, technology is going to change much faster for your generation than it did for us. And certainly when I go back to when I was 28, look at the amount of time it took for many of the things that we today take for granted becoming mainstream. Today, whatever ChatGPT went mainstream in 2 years or some such thing. So rule number 1 is technology is going to change. I think rule number 2 is that, it's extremely important for people to recognize that education can no longer be viewed as something you do for a certain period of your life, then you get a certification, then you get a job, and then you get promoted and so on and are successful. A lot more investment in keeping up with technology. That need not mean going back to universities, but it does mean choosing jobs and assignments where you will learn. And frankly, for firms also, it requires a much, much greater thinking about how to keep re-educating your workforce. Take somebody who's had hundreds of guys doing coding. Today they don't need that many coders. A lot of the stuff is done by AI, but the few people that remain have to be supervising what AI does. But for that, the coders have to be adequately trained on AI to be able to do that job.